when we were editing this video, guys, you're going to notice it was darkness. Be quiet over there! All of you! Oh, good help's hard to find. But anyway, we lost the first part of this video because of how dark it was. So we're going to pick up the literally first turn. In the description in the video, we'll have the fleets. Alright, now you guys may be loud again.
Let there be light.
So they fixed the transformer already. Way faster than we all thought. Yeah. So we can record.
Hell yeah.
So deployment. Go ahead, Tim. Walk us through what you did over here.
So
you were forced to do.
I forgot and surprised. Again, doing it for the lulz.
Yeah.
Flagship has to be overlapping the station. It's going speed 1. My other 2 ships cannot go more than half of that speed rounded up. Yeah. So even if this deployed at speed 2, going speed 1. So these 2 speed 1. All in, basic formation to just, I don't know. That's a problem.
So then I popped my mines. Yeah. I threw my mines over here, so when they try to swing, there's a minefield. I threw my pelta lifeboat over here.
But then let's look at that bullshit.
Oh, and then over here, everyone's going speed 3.
That's such, good God.
Yeah. So.
Where's that one? Oh, it's the magnet one.
It's the magnet one. So everyone's going speed 3. The only thing I have to do is still pull out. We have their dials, and I have to pull the raid token dials out because that's a thing too in this mission.
Yeah.
So, thanks for being a good sport, Tim. I didn't think we were going to be able to record this game.
I'm okay with surprise attack, honestly. Let's see it.
I mean, that might be one of them things where you might see it, just either that or opening salvos. We'll see what happens, guys. We'll be back at the end of round 1 once we go ahead and set up our dials. Alright, so that was round 1. Go ahead, Tim. Tell us what you did, brother.
I moved.
Just moved up a little bit.
I'm slow because you raided. That I had to get rid of the raid token.
My first thing was a navigate. So, yeah. Oh, my guys moved up. I did hit my own mine with Ezra because I misjudged the distance. Everyone just kind of speeded up. It's going to be interesting flying that formation.
Yeah.
It's going to be rough. It'll be good practice, though, because I think this will be a fun jank list for tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And then the pelta just put it up one into a navigate token. I know I'm using raid tokens, but I didn't expect to have all of our stuff. So this will be start of round 2. I'm going to go ahead and reveal my raid. Concentrate fire. Robble. Alright. Oh, and Ezra took 2 damage, by the way, from the mine. So, what's that, buddy? Alright. We'll be back after turn 2. Alright, let's go over that. So, because of...
Oh, you should be at speed 2.
I dropped into speed 1, remember? Because of the crit. So, what happened? Ezra died, but I misplayed him a little bit, but he did what he was supposed to do, which was go up and throw the asteroid over here to help block these 2 knuckleheads. He hit mines over here, and I did 5 damage.
That shit hurted.
Just through mines.
Because you got
2 structural.
Yeah, you popped 2 structurals.
Because of the dodonna, whenever crits applied, and I rolled crits.
It's not whenever you deal them. Whenever a crit is applied to an enemy ship, it's like, oh, that shit.
Same with the asteroid. And then I lowered your speed again.
Yep.
Then I moved everybody up. It's going to get pretty crazy here, so we'll see what happens. And then he moved over.
He's over there. He's just chilling.
Yeah, I mean, granted, he should be in the fight throwing long-range shots, but in the same token, he's the most expensive ship, and I need the admiral to stay alive. This guy I misjudged over here, so he's out there. What all did you do to end up doing, Tim?
I moved, I shot, oh wait, actually, he moved, got absolutely royally fucked. He at least moved, but he annihilated Ezra.
Yeah.
Like four red accuracies and
Yeah.
then 3 damage on blue dice. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, well,
It got rid of him.
Yeah, I was like, accuracies, you can't defend a thing.
So then the last, if you're going on the last
Yep.
thing, is another raid token for Navigate.
Oh. Yes.
I did something you probably didn't think I was going to do that order, did you?
No, I was figuring engineering. I was getting ready for engineering to pop.
All right, guys.
All right.
We'll go on to turn 3, which would be Tim's turn. Oh, one major mistake I did.
Yes.
I forgot to set all my command dials.
Oh,
So, in the theme of true sportsmanship and us gearing up for the tournament, I just did the same command, which obviously was not optimized because I really paid for it.
Yep.
That really, I think, it's going to really swing what I do now because a lot of stuff I wanted to do, I couldn't.
What all has racks?
They all do.
Fuck.
They all have racks. It's just some have boarding trooper or boarding engineers. Some had the proximity mines.
Okay, good to know.
All right,
Oh boy.
we'll be back. All right, so we got some jank. So over here, I lost 2 more hammerheads to Tim. 1 through shooting, 1 through ramming, but they're doing their job. The pelta rolled around.
The pelta's doing its thing.
I popped Sabine to throw another mine. This ship has hit 5 mines this game.
5, 6, 7 damage out of 8.
Yeah.
This guy,
Well,
I
you
think,
repaired
only
one of them.
Yes. If I didn't repair that one, I would have been dead.
I got boarding engineers to go off on one of the other.
That's how you
MC80s.
dealt 2 more structural damages to him.
Because of the engineering value.
Pretty worth.
It's doing pretty good. You killed one of my ships before I could pop boarding engineers, but it's all right.
Thank Christ. Did it pop racks before it died?
Yeah. That's when it fired 3 black dice out of the side and
Yeah,
did
that's
nothing.
right.
So we're kind of rolling around. Tim just kind of rolled. This guy hit an asteroid again.
Yeah.
So this list, if we keep flying this list, if I keep flying it, this actually might turn into something because it's so janky.
Just might, honestly.
The mimes are like memes.
The mimes.
The mimes. Someone call them the mimes.
I know. I need an alt art card of that, by the way.
Yes.
I know a lot of people don't like Dodonna. This is a case because of how he's worded, where he can be really strong, throwing out a minefield like this. And it did.
Because if you hit a proximity mine, you take the hit or the crit if it's a crit.
I still swear by him because, like, if you have no particular admiral in mind,
Yeah.
throw him on because
He's cheap too.
Yeah, he's 20 points. Granted, most people are like, why not take Krista? But in this case, he's far better.
Yeah, I mean, I probably should have had him going speed 2 earlier to come about face to shoot you.
Yeah.
But this is doing really good actually. We'll see what happens. This is turn 4.
Yep. I go first.
Yep, we'll be back. All right.
So now we're good.
Yeah.
I had to shoot with a ship who then landed on the rock again because I miscalculated.
So I lost another torpedo. It's not looking good. I just basically I finally started using my, I should have been using it earlier, my evasive action to make it more maneuverable. And
that was impressive.
yeah,
This guy went from here to here, and I was like, that's
them guys were maintaining speed 3 and came about pretty quick. The problem is I'm second player, so I can't catch him.
Yep. Yeah. And I get the first salvo to potentially take out ships that are in.
Yeah, that having salvo on this is
I
dumb.
used up my Intensify Fire, my Fleet Command Intensify Firepower. That really goes to show, like, that card can do damage if you play it at the right time.
Yeah.
In this case, all of my ships had at least 1 shot, so it was just uber.
Yeah.
And he got to use it on a salvo attack because it doesn't look like there's anything against that.
Yep. And that was turn 4, correct?
Yep.
So
Garm had proc, so everyone has tokens.
We're on turn 5. In reality, I should be trying to conserve points because he's going to win it. I'm not going to be able to knock out a ship because of that damn title sucks.
That combo is, it's impressive.
It sucks.
It's also offensive, I will admit.
Yeah, it definitely is, but it is what it is. We'll go on to turn 5, guys. See what happens. Yeah.
2 damage again.
All right. That's it, really, guys. I lost another ship, obviously, over here. Over here, I just kind of like scooted out of the way, just out of range of the mine. Tim spun around. This is turn 5. We're gonna call it because there's gonna be no more shooting, and I'm not gonna hit the mine.
Yeah, and all I would have done would have been gun engineering, so I'd have discarded more damage, and then that guy would have been no shots.
Okay.
And I don't think any of them are low enough that hitting a rock would kill them.
No, even with the dodonna. If you didn't have such great engineering,
yeah, the dice mitigation and the damage mitigation is huge.
Oh, it's really good. So we're going to call it. I know Tim won by a very large margin because he has all the ships. So I just have a small number.
It's still a pretty good game.
It was. I was doing good, but the problem is I couldn't get enough damage in fast enough.
Yeah, they mitigate damage too fast, but it's still a good list, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to the after actions report here now.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back with the after actions. All right, so that game's that's a rough one.
Yeah.
I still say your list is really good. I think even in a tournament environment.
This is definitely something to consider taking to a tournament. Potentially change Garm Iblis to rounds 3 and 5, yeah, 2 and 4, because round 2 you're not quite in engagement range yet.
No, and the hard part about this fleet is the dice mitigation is that's just how it is. And then your repair damage, that was the frustrating part because twice I had 2 of your ships to 1 hull, and unfortunately,
by the end of the round they would have been down to up to 6.
The Mon Calamari Exodus Fleet, that really ticks me off. Because it's unlike some other ones, if you would use it on a ship like the other titles, then you can't use engineering. This is just you do an engineering and when you exhaust it?
Yeah, you exhaust it on another ship.
Yeah.
So hold on. So you have to do an engineering command, obviously.
Yeah.
You may choose and exhaust another copy of this card on the front of the ship at a distance of 1 to 4. If you do, you gain 2 additional engineering points.
So basically, it hasn't been a rather way.
No.
Okay.
Basically, how I understand it is just you need to make sure you activate your ships in a decent enough order.
Yeah.
One of them expects me to be there 5 to 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's best. I think it's best on just 2 ships.
It's kind of rough to deal with. Like I said, twice I had ships down to 1 hull piece, and actually, one of that was from shooting, and then one of that was from mines.
But my job description is electronics.
Yeah.
I'd have to fly this list more. Believe it or not, with me flying a giant formation of hammerheads,
You didn't bump once.
I didn't bump once. What my plan was
yourself.
right. The plan. What I should have done is found the points for Gale's Honor, or whatever the hell it's called. The one where you bump, you do a face-up damage. I should find the points for it, honestly, because how I had set up was the front was a proximity mine hammerheads with racks, and then behind them was the engineering. Boarding troops.
How many points are? How many points is Ezra?
I think Ezra's 3 to 4 points.
While he did, he did work. He also helped cripple that ship.
The reason I had Ezra in here is you pick an obstacle at range 1 to 2, and you can move it within its distance of 1 to 2. So what I did was I purposely placed it in front of the station, and then seeing how you deployed your fleet, I just threw the rock out in front of the other 2 ships, hoping they would hit it, and it actually worked.
He hit it twice. That one, the janky looking ship.
I think I could find the points to find in the hammerhead, but the idea was the torpedo ones go in first, hopefully get damage in, which is kind of rough against these ships, and then the ones behind it, the boarding troopers would get in, and then boom, boarding engineers would go off.
For the most part, that worked.
I only got 1 engineer to go off. The other 2 you killed. The rough part is going as player 2 with that kind of a loadout.
Yeah.
You really need to hem a ship in like I was able to earlier. But once I started taking casualties, you were able to like to slip through my net, basically.
I will say surprise attack is a pain in the ass. That was
Yeah. If you didn't have him on, I think it would play way more of a detriment to your fleet.
Because even with Garm, it was a detriment because by round 2 I had 2 raid tokens. What was it? Confire and Navigate. So
yeah,
it was like
and I did Navigate one more time to help. Yeah, because the idea is to keep him slow and hit him, and then I also popped Sabine, which actually worked. Where you throw a mine anywhere within range 1 to 2 of an obstacle or range 3 of a ship.
Only one didn't get procced, and the rest were indeed procced by me.
Yeah, you hit 5 of the 6 mines, which. I guess in theory the fleet worked. I think if I would have had the pelta go a little bit faster and force you either to turn towards it or come in and take advantage of that ship being crippled up.
Yeah. See, the thing is with the pelta, I'd probably just ignore it. Because I don't think, in terms of firepower, I don't think the pelta poses enough of a threat for me to turn into it whenever I can just be like, alright, 3 dice out the side or 2 dice out the back, I'll take care of it.
I guess my idea was I'd be throwing 2 red dice at long range at you,
which is
and then maybe one gets through, or I get some shields, and then if you don't deal with him, once he gets in blue dice range, then I could throw up to 5 dice with concentrate.
I am still. I'm impressed with. I'm impressed with how Garm works now. That's far better than rounds 1 and 5. Now it's just 2 non-consecutive, so 1 and 3, which wouldn't be really worth it. 2 and 4 is what I did, or 3 and 5 would probably be your best bets.
I think with surprise attack, besides it making you go slower for them like speedy armies or speedy fleets, throwing this where you want to, I can either throw you in the middle or I can throw you on the side, which is kind of what I did. I threw it close enough to where I knew Tim couldn't fit his fleet in here, so he had to deploy on the far side, and then that's where I threw the minefield, knowing you would have to fly through the minefield to swing in. I wasn't banking on how well your damage mitigation was. If you didn't have honestly, if you didn't have those titles,
the titles and tokens, because the engineering tokens let me get just enough engineering points to chuck off.
Yeah, I don't think those ships will survive. I really don't. Now, what's funny is this fleet is actually a lot of fun to fly. Although I had to borrow one of Tim's hammerheads.
Yeah, I haven't.
So I only have 6 hammerheads. Yeah. Unless I drop a hammerhead and throw in a CR90. But
Dodonna's Pride,
which it's a little more expensive. I could probably juggle some more points with this list. I think the proximity minefield idea works because you can throw up basically a giant area of denial where you have to fly through it or you have to flak it. So you're spending shots.
I'm considering swapping these back out, the ion batteries for that weapons team, just because this specifies blue accuracies.
Yeah.
But other than like that kind of thought, same as with the last times, every single card in this fleet was useful.
Yeah.
To some extent. No card went unused. Which is kind of something strange to think about, but like, think about how many games you've played where you've had upgrades that were never used. Like, you probably had a couple boarding engineers and racks that didn't
Only because they got killed.
Yeah. Which is fair. Like,
whenever I was able to fire, there was a couple times I had you double arced.
Yes.
And I just... Granted, you only use racks once, we know this, but at one of those, I had to concentrate fire and racks go off. I threw 6 dice at you. However, because it was a boarding engineer one, I did have ordnance experts. And then now comes the argument, do you really want to throw a 4-point upgrade on essentially a 2 black dice ship?
The answer is
probably it's too expensive. Where you know what, you're like, you know what, throw the rack. I wasn't taking advantage of evasive maneuvers because, believe it or not, adding that 1 click at the end of your last yaw, and then if you spend an engineering or a navigate like I did earlier, I really flipped them around. But me being second player kind of hurt.
It definitely does.
Well, once my net fell apart, I couldn't keep you locked in where I was able to like get close range shots and then throw engineers on you.
Also, and we said this, I want to say this, it doesn't necessarily tie into this battle report specifically. I used to be, I sort of that thinking about my reactive gunnery, because that did help. That hurt.
That actually killed a ship.
Yeah. I think it killed, but it set it up to just evaporize the next turn.
Yeah.
But initially I was annoyed. Annoyed at the fact that since salvos are new defense token, I was annoyed that all the new ships were getting it and none of the old ships have it baked in. But now I realize, looking at some defense tokens like the Venator, one brace, one redirect, one contain, one salvo.
Yeah.
That's not great. Well, the defense tokens are mostly used for damage mitigation. Contains all right.
Yeah.
It can save you in certain situations.
I guess with this aspect though too, Tim, if you look at a lot of the, maybe a lot of the other different ships that could take a salvo that are in Empire and Rebellion, a lot of them have, I think in a lot of ways, better printed rear firing arcs than a lot of the ships in those other two factions, CIS and Republic, Republic. So maybe that was, it's a new idea.
Yeah, and I'm also like, I'm okay with it now, thinking now. Like, if you want to make it part of your fleet, you can throw on stuff like reactive gunnery, which is 4 points, or the weapons team that makes you permanently replace one of your tokens.
Yeah,
that was perfectly fine. Having them baked in now makes capital ships like the Venator. It now limits the number of actual damage mitigation their defense tokens can have.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they have a baked-in salvo that they can use every turn. But in my opinion, like, I'm not realizing that's not ideal. Having another redirect or another brace would be far better.
Well, yeah, a lot of the new ships there is no double things really anymore.
Yep. Which is balanced.
Yeah.
Like, I've had gripes that I thought the new factions in both Legion and Armada are not balanced. In Armada, I think, though, they did a good job.
Yeah.
And that, like, with that in mind, yeah, that's, it gives them access to it, to salvos, since it's brand new, but it doesn't make them overpowered.
The one thing we talked about earlier with the Hammerhead I feel came out in a different time in the game. You still had the double hit with engine techs. You know what I mean? I'll be honest. Against almost every other ship, it seems the Hammerhead goes down in at least one shot. It really does.
It does.
And unfortunately, I would rather have another evade or
than a contain.
Yeah, or an actual brace, because I guess everyone has this idea of the Hammerhead as a straight boarding ship, like straight ramming ship.
Yeah.
I could see it having a brace. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. It's still, they're definitely hard to use seeing out of Speed 3. If they were Speed 4, it would be really, really good.
My brain thought, like, oh yeah, you could take the weapons team reactive, like, whatever the weapons team guys are to get the salvo instead of contain, and then I went, oh yeah, they have no rear arc.
No, I think there's some ways to change tokens out.
There are, yeah.
But I think that's an admiral, right? Or no?
If you really want to, you could put Krista on them and get one non-scatter defense token. But like, why are you putting Krista Gate on a Hammerhead?
Yeah. Like I said, this is definitely a jank list. It's fun. I think depending on the fleet I go against, it could really be dangerous, especially Fleet and Being. I think this would actually do really well against it.
Because he has the drone.
Because I just fly along one of the edges and just start shedding tokens and start getting points. But,
yeah, this fleet though, I've definitely realized, definitely good beat-based list. You're going to want to make sure you kill more things than objective tokens can make up for.
Well, that's what I remember beating this fleet was through, honestly, objectives. That one, I did knock out a ship, I think, in our battle report. but me having objective tokens is actually what won that game.
Yeah, Jake looks
So,
like he doesn't take care of himself.
I'd like to see this against my Grievous carrier list. I have a list finally put together with Grievous.
This against it would be interesting. I have pointed out to you that while each of these have 2 flak dice, all you really have to do to kind of counter the wing types, the battle cruisers, is put your squads in the front. And now I cannot both, since I don't have gunnery team, and they're so not maneuverable, you could expect me to nav every turn instead of concentrating fire. You are now basically saying, all right, you can either flak all these fighters or use your absurd amount of dice to shoot out the front at something, take your pick.
Plus, too, I'd have different missions. I would definitely have contested outpost, where it would be so deep in my territory, hopefully, that I'm just going to farm it for at least 2 or 3 turns.
And they're not, as we learned in the last battle report, I'm not sure if it's up yet. I think it is.
It is. I think I just posted.
Yeah. They're not maneuverable enough. They're not maneuverable enough to like cut the turn into.
Right.
I just need to be at close range of it, and it's just.
The Providence is in a good way. Like I like how maneuverable it is. I think I'm still going to keep this fleet together and fly it again sometime. If anything, because of my ship collection, I might throw in a CR-90 of some kind, just for like scouting purposes or getting in.
Now, one thing is, I do want to wait until the Venator comes in to go against the Grievous list.
Okay.
Because I have an Admiral Yularen fleet that I really want to try out, including Mercy Mission, because I think that has some potential.
Yeah.
Extra 40 points or losing 20, you just gotta.
It adds up.
Yep.
I don't know. Like any other closing thoughts, Tim? Anything that you think of that we saw during the game?
I don't really think so.
I think for myself, I think I deployed pretty good.
Yeah.
My plan was sound. It was just the ships were too tough. They're too tough for me to get through. Which that happens sometimes, but that's the fun part about Armada is there's always a way to get through.
Yeah, unless somebody who has a higher initiative than you also.
Yeah, that was, as always though, good game.
It was a very good game. Like we talked about earlier in the beginning of this video when it was the darkness. September 4th, 2021, we're going to have a Store Championship Armada tournament at SCG Hobby in Latrobe. We'll have details.
We can really make an event on Facebook, and then
on the guild page, we're going to make an event about it. We'll have entry fee, stuff like that. We're also doing something different. We're doing some casual objectives. So think of the bingo cards in 40K and other games. We're going to have certificates for fighter race. So during your matches, your games, you keep track of how many enemy squadrons you destroyed. Doesn't matter how you destroyed them, but if you destroyed them, keep track of it. And at the end of the event, whoever has the most enemy squadrons destroyed gets fighter race. Damage cards. If you keep track of how many face-up and face-down damage cards you got rid of, then guess what? You get like maybe damage control, like officers, something like that.
oh,
doing crits.
discarded damage cards, you say?
Yeah, that's going to be one of the things. Because there's some things people are really good at doing, but they don't have the best fleet. But it'll still be kind of a cool idea. There'll be more we're going to talk about, as well as we are going to have, not a live stream, but we're going to do a full, however long it takes, final table match, whoever that's going to be. We're doing some other different stuff we're going to be trying. It seems that we're probably primarily Armada. That's where most of our videos are, that's our most popular videos.
I think it's okay to like have record other games.
Yeah.
Because like 40K is always a good one to. But yeah, I think honestly we need to get someone else other than me here.
Some other guys are camera shy, or they're like, oh, I just don't want to be on camera. I'm not playing competitive. As you can see by our list, like I think we've only played one like our real tournament lists,
And even
those were jank.
Yeah, we were like, I threw on the tractor beam on the Starhawk. Why? I don't know. I hate myself.
Although I think for that tournament, if I have to play in it as the TO, I think I am going to probably really fly the grievance list. And the only reason is I want to see what it does in a real tournament environment. 'Cause where we're at, stores are open, but no one's really doing things. And I'll be honest, I don't like Vassal. I don't like the other systems that's online to play.
I'm okay with Tabletop Simulator because it's pretty precise, but yeah, I understand not wanting to do that.
But, alright guys, that was the Guildmaster and the Enchanter. Hope you guys liked the video. You know, everyone else says, share the video around, like, subscribe, whatever it is.
Click the bell.
Click the bell. Our Patreon's down below. Actually, I'm pretty good at my OnlyFans. It's worth it. Alright guys, we'll see you. Uh-oh.